When you first start a project or product, you're trying to figure out how to move quickly in an unstructured way. Any strategy that you come up with is basically worthless.
I can actually see now how we can go from where we are to $500 million in ARR.
If you just raise your pre-seed and you sit down there and you're doing strategy for like 5 to 10 days, like that's the dumbest thing you could do, right? You're just wasting your time.
Instead of having like 50 engineers per team, we can have like 5 because of AI. And the products that we're talking about, it's not just like a simple little addition. It's like they're basically entire other companies.
I'm Lewis. You are
Claudio.
And Mariano.
Yeah, we're the co-founders of CompAI.
CompAI,
And
great
we're a company that...
The best company.
What do we do? What does CompAI do?
Remember that clip from Austin Nassau?
Yes.
I always remember that moment.
Maybe we can start with that story, and then we can actually talk about what we do in layman terms.
If you want to bring it up again,
I mean, like
I think we do.
We can touch on it. So a couple weeks ago, I guess we had the whole team visiting New York. Went to a comedy show, and
a couple months ago,
went to a comedy show. Austin Nassau, he's like a tech comedian. He was asking like, who here is a tech founder or an AI founder?
AI, yeah. First he did like finance or something.
Yeah.
And then there was too many finance people.
Yeah, too many finance people.
Who is in AI?
Any AI companies.
Yeah.
And can you pick which brother immediately, tried to say this guy over here? Which one would have been out of you two? Obviously,
I think it's
it was obviously Claudio.
Mr. Claudio.
He volunteers this information that I'm the CEO of this AI company.
I just start pointing at him emphatically, and he gets picked.
Yeah, I just heard like someone screaming on the side like, yeah.
This guy.
And I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah. But anyway. What we actually do is, I guess, how would you explain it? You got to redo.
We're an open source.
This is your chance to redeem yourself.
This is your chance to redeem yourself.
We are the easiest way for companies to get SOC 2 compliant.
Amazing.
All right, that's the gist of it.
Yes.
I guess we could. Well, I mean, to be honest, we're kind of moving away from focusing just on SOC 2, right?
Yep.
So, I guess, are we an open source cloud security platform?
I mean, I guess that's honestly probably a good segue into one of the topics we want to dive into today, which is sort of like, hey, new year, it's about to start. I think where we had December 30th at the time of this recording. So we're starting to think a lot about kind of where does the company go over the next couple of months. Obviously, that includes, there's a fundraise that we want to do. There's product, investments that we want to do. There's like media, go-to-market, all that stuff. So we've been thinking a lot about, kind of like, where do we go? Like, what does the company evolve to? Both in terms of like the story as well as like, the product itself. So I mean, kind of would love for us to kind of like describe a little bit about some of the latest thinking there.
We started off by kind of like doing a lot more planning. So this first, I don't know, 11 months or how long has it been?
Oh man, I think
that
we launched the product in April, right? So it hasn't been that long.
8 months.
8 months since we went live. We probably started working on it 10 months ago.
Yeah, we've been kind of like figuring it out on the way, like the
Maybe
strategy.
longer, right, when you started,
right? Like what we're going to work on.
I think it was a year ago for me.
Year ago.
So December was probably when I made like the open source repo back in the day.
So I guess what was the idea initially? Like, I mean, obviously we joined you. I mean, you started initially with the idea. We joined you kind of like, I guess, in a sequence, spaced out by maybe like a month or two. I guess I'm curious to also understand kind of like what was the idea originally and how much has that changed to where we are today, and then we can dive into 2026.
Yeah, I mean, the idea was just to try and make getting compliant with these, different cybersecurity frameworks easy. And I think we still do that. I mean, we're very good at what the initial idea was, right? We have absolutely nailed the workflow from getting a founder to go from A to B in what we do. I would say that the core kind of like focus of what we're building still kind of aligns all around like cybersecurity frameworks. But I guess there is a good opportunity for us to really think about, okay, how would we expand into the whole kind of like cybersecurity market as a whole, as opposed to just compliance? And I mean, it's a huge market, right? We spoke about it a lot. We've gone through this a fair amount. And if you can take away from the compliance side, you can essentially build all of these like products around it, right? So you can say, all right, we fix SOC 2. We fix these different frameworks, and now we're going to focus on access management. It's all kind of boring, but there's definitely something around that space where it's interesting to me as a founder, thinking about how we can go from, serving I'd say $20 billion market compared to a $200 billion market. And I think that's how we long-term go.
Yeah, I think from my perspective, since I joined you guys and we started kind of working on this, I don't think the idea has changed that much.
No.
I think we've been very consistent and just dominating with the original idea. And frankly, I think that's been one of the biggest surprises to me is how fast we found product market fit. Like there was a very clear problem. We solved it. The company immediately started working. We were selling, $10,000 a year contracts, like really, really fast. Fast forward to the end of 2026, we're making multiple, millions of dollars in annual recurring revenue. The product hasn't changed that much, but as we look into the year ahead, 2025, as we think into the year ahead, I think the question is sort of like, how big can this be? And now that we have a foot in the door with a lot of the customers that we have today, what else do they need that we can continue to almost like expand and further monetize? To me, one of the big things is almost like also thinking about our capitalization plan and, hey, we're going to need to fundraise, right? So we need to make this really attractive to investors. And one of the things that investors are going to ask is, how big can this be? What market are you really going after? And there's different ways that we can pitch this. There's, hey, this is purely a compliance play, or this is bigger than compliance. And obviously, the bigger the market, the juicier the opportunity, I think, for an investor. So I guess what can you tell us about some of the latest thinking around, hey, here's how we're trying to position ourselves to be a really interesting opportunity, not just for investors, but also to give ourselves a shot at building the biggest company that we possibly can.
The more I think about it, if the goal is to make getting compliant with some framework, like the end, pain point that we want to solve for our customers, it gets interesting to me that by naturally moving into more of a generic cybersecurity space, you can actually solve the problems easier. So like one thing could be, say access management is a thing that you have to do to be compliant with these frameworks. We don't specifically have like an access management functionality in CompAI. We typically would say, okay, integrate with this and get the proof from, let's say, Google Workspace. But what if we built the access management inside CompAI, right? So you can, and if you can do that, well, actually the process becomes easier. You just have one kind of like holistic like app which controls everything or has access to provision, access to different apps, to different software. And then therefore that kind of like links back to getting compliant, and it makes it easier, right? You don't have to integrate with different solutions. You don't have to have different things for it. So I think if you take like the Rippling playbook where they've, built this, everything to do with like people, right? They will try and they have built parts around it, the IT part, the payroll part, it all kind of like links back to making it easy to run a company. So I think if we take that kind of playbook and apply that to compliance, and we kind of naturally go into cybersecurity anyway. There are problems that we have to solve to make the compliance side of it the easiest and the best way of doing it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like you essentially have to solve that problem to solve the problem of compliance.
Yeah. I think
it makes sense.
Some of the other things we've been discussing is around, hey, there's already existing players in the compliance space. So one of the hardest things to do is to sort of displace the incumbents. So if you go straight for, hey, we have a replacement product, it's a really hard pitch. But if you go saying like, hey, we have a product that maybe you don't already have a solution for, go use this add-on. And once you use that add-on, you get exposed to the fact that we have an entire family of products that all talk to each other. They work really, really well. And then eventually they might actually churn with their compliance solution because they're already using the other family of products that we provided.
Yeah, I think also another interesting kind of point there is that, sure, we're kind of starting off with compliance, but the way that we're going about building it is we're kind of automating and questioning every single part in the process. So we're saying like, these competitors already have this platform and this is how it works, but we actually are rethinking about, some of these things are not necessary or they could be simplified. So we're really taking action to just make it a lot simpler in the process. And this will also expand to other kind of avenues that we're trying to go after, right, in terms of cybersecurity. So that's kind of like our motto.
So Mariano, I know you're kind of leading the charge on the engineering and product side. And normally one of the sort of pushbacks that you get from investors when you basically pitch them like, hey, we're actually going to build the entire cybersecurity layer, let's say, or we're going to build a very compound startup, is you're getting distracted, number one. You don't have the resources to go after such a big and ambitious, almost like complex product. I guess, how are we approaching it, and why Like, what would you say to an investor that's basically saying like, hey, you're getting distracted and you're taking on too much for the amount of engineering resources that you have?
I would say that I don't think so, because we're kind of taking it like piece by piece. We're starting off with a like a smaller segment of the market and kind of building for that, and then scaling up slowly, like building up to those more complex requirements. But also, like I mentioned, we're being very smart about which parts of that we actually build, and how we build it. So like I said, we question everything from the beginning. We're from fundamentals, and we're like, you can actually make this a lot simpler, with a lot less requirements. So kind of like cutting scope, for each thing that we work on. So at the end of the day, I don't think it's going to become like it's too much that we can handle, because we're being strategic about it, how we go about it.
Yeah. And Lewis, I know we were having this conversation the other day around sort of like what's possible to do today with AI. So when some of these companies started, they did not have the tools that are available today. And I think that plays a big role in terms of like us taking a more ambitious project.
Yeah, we can be way more capital efficient, right? We can build more products, more functionality, or even get rid of functionality, just make it better or automate more with a lot less people. Can you imagine the engineering team at one of our competitors, how big they would typically be? I mean, for something that we built all right, let's say we all started in January working on the product. We launched it in April. It was in an okay place when we launched. I look back at it now and I'm like, damn, like what the hell was that? It's improved so much now. But I mean, for what we launched between January and April would have traditionally taken, maybe a year to build for 3 people. I mean, it was a crazy amount of effort, right? But just by being smart about it, by using things like Cursor and like Claude Code, whatever we used at the time, it just made it so much quicker to build. Now we have a few pain points because of it, I guess. Like we do have to go back, and there's definitely some things that we have to, go and spend some time on. But I think the positives of using AI when we did to, help build the platform, it outweighs the negatives. Okay, now we have to go and, clean up some bits of the code base, make it a bit more efficient, whatever. It got us where we needed to, and we did it with 3 people at the time. And we haven't grown significantly on the engineering side up until like recently, right? We didn't really hire any engineers. We actually hired a salesperson before we had someone from outside come in and help with the engineering, right?
Yep, that's right.
Yeah. That's kind of crazy. Most startups don't do that, by the way. Most investors want to see, okay, you're going to spend 40% of your Series A on product, on engineering. But the answer with CompAI and the team that we built is you don't need that, right? You do not need to spend 40% of a Series A round on engineering people.
Yeah,
you can do a lot more with a lot less now.
Yeah, it's almost like you have like an incredible amount of leverage on the engineering side that with less people you can actually build a very complex product.
And I would actually say that on the engineering part, where you're saying like now we have to go back and fix some things, like that still happens normally even without AI.
Yeah,
people still build their MVPs or their initial product very hastily, and you kind of don't know, you don't understand the requirements right at the time. So it's actually pretty much the same thing, except we did a lot more because of AI instead of less.
Yeah, I think as we think about 2026, I think we definitely are planning on obviously expanding the team and bringing in more resources. But I think the difference is whereas maybe with a team of let's say 10, 15, 20 engineers, you could only focus on one product. I think the reason we're now able to be so bold in saying like, hey, actually we're going to build a whole suite of products is because of that leverage point. So yes, we might still have a big team, but we're building multiple products at the same time. And we're basically challenging the notion of like, no, you have to be really focused. Actually, you don't if you have insane amounts of leverage.
Yeah, instead of having like 50 engineers per team, we can have like 5 because everyone's super efficient because of AI, right?
Yeah.
And the amount of products we can create with the same amount of people that a bigger company would have or legacy is way more.
I think you could argue that now you can basically hire 2 or 3 really good engineers that know how to use AI efficiently, and basically put them in a room together and say, hey, you're now in charge of building this product, which is going to be an add-on to CompAI or whatever you're building, and just saying, okay, now go with it, spend 2 or 3 months on it, come back with something. And that typically would have taken a huge amount of time in just even 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Right? You'd have to hire a team of 20, 30 people to go out and could you imagine like how much time Rippling spent on
100%.
first going from their payroll system to their IT management system to the building their device agent, all of their MDM stuff. It's a huge amount. Like the app is massive, right? And it covers so much. But I feel like you get 2 or 3 people now and just say, hey, look, go away, build this.
Yeah,
Come back
and the products that we're talking about, it's not just like a simple little addition. It's like they're basically entire other companies that you could sell by themselves.
Yeah.
But instead, we're just kind of doing it all in one package with Comp AI, where you can get everything you need cybersecurity wise in one place.
I love the idea of building like it's very cringy to call it a cloud, but like almost like a product suite, right? Where you don't have to have 20 vendors to get compliant, right? You can just have one thing. You have everything that you need in one hub, and no one else satisfies that. And I think up until very recently, it would have been crazy for a company to try and build something like that.
And some of them do, like Rippling, but they raise billions of dollars to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
And they're repeat founders and they have some credibility.
Yeah.
Like, but if you try to raise money for a compound startup and you're like, first time founder or whatever, like new team, you're going to get laughed out of the room.
Right. Yeah, no, you're crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like now it is actually possible to build a compound startup.
Yeah.
Because of AI.
And you know what? I don't think I've seen as many teams starting to do it just yet.
No.
Like, I don't think they're thinking upward. They're thinking efficiency downward. It's basically like, oh, we'll just stay small instead of we'll still scale, but we'll also think about much bigger problems to solve.
Yeah.
And thinking back, I think some of the best products that I use personally is like, Apple, right? It's like your watch works so well with your phone, with your computer.
Your laptop,
So you have these ecosystems that the experience is way better when things just are built for each other.
We need the Apple Ring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be the dream.
This kind of connects to Apple Health, right?
It does.
It's almost the
that is
same.
true. It connects well. But I mean, you would drop it immediately, right? If Apple released a very similar thing.
Yeah, for sure.
You don't have to.
But why? It's because it's going to work better within their ecosystem.
Yeah, like
So
it can
what
track
do we do? So what do we
your
do?
screen time or something.
We create an access management product,
Yeah.
right? If you're using us already for, whatever it is you're using us for, you're going to adopt it eventually. You're going to be like, okay, well, why would I go elsewhere if I have this? Now, the only downside I can see is if someone is using a compound startup like Rippling, and then they're using Comp AI, and both offer the solution, and you're like, damn, which one do I pick? Which one is the one? I think we may lose on that because Rippling is the HR and payroll
100%.
system, right? So you have to have multiple of these things. You don't just do access management; you also do asset management, IT, like MDM. All of that stuff, the device management itself, not just access. You do everything.
So I guess one of the things we've been obviously talking a lot about is as we think about 2026 is like we're starting to come up with this strategy, and we've been sort of for the first time almost like growing up. I think as founders, I think for a long time we've been operating in a very kind of like pre-product market fit way. Right, you're used to doing this, right? Because when you first start a project or a product, you're trying to figure out how to move quickly in an unstructured way. Any strategy that you come up with is basically worthless. It's going to be thrown out the window in 2 weeks because you changed your idea, you discovered something new about the marketplace. Now I think the game is changing, right? Where we figure out something that works.
It makes me think back on that time we spent like 3 days building the Ghibli app. We spent so much time building Comp AI. We're like, you know what? Let's pivot to B2C mobile apps instead.
Yeah.
I was like, when you said that, it just made me think back to that little
the very
office.
Early days, we were just trying whatever, seeing if we could kind of monetize something really quickly.
Yeah. Ghibli was all the rage. Studio Ghibli. For people that are listening, that is like a Japanese anime studio.
Yeah.
And it was like AI images going around.
Yeah,
all
there
the
was this
time.
trend where like people were generating images in sort of like anime style.
We saw it and we were like, okay, let's make an app.
Let's monetize very quickly. We can capture some revenue and then we can get back to work on the real thing.
Yeah.
We abandoned the idea very quickly. But,
Could you imagine doing that now though? With a team of like, what we have right
no.
now, that'd be stupid. We'd be like, we'd look at each other and be like, But when you're 3 people, you can just do that. It's kind of
fun,
right?
like the serendipity of really the
chaos,
the early days, and now it's just a lot more focused. But I think we've been busting our heads trying to figure out how to actually, not just be reactive in real time, but like think ahead.
Yeah, I think now we like actually have to come up with really long-term strategies and work backwards from that.
Yeah.
Whereas before, like you mentioned, it's kind of all, it was purely vibes, right? Like every day we basically come up with a new decision that we had to do, or pivoting strategy, but now it's kind of like all set and we're like, we know what we have to do, we're gonna track everything and we're gonna work towards those goals.
Okay, so how are you approaching that? As we sit down and we have a strategy meeting, like what's been our approach for, kind of like actually drafting something that feels actionable that we can work towards?
Yeah, I think first of all, like we're having a lot more meetings, right? Like which we didn't have to have before.
We used to hate
It
meetings.
sounds so decel.
It
Stop
sounds
saying
very
that, sir. Yeah, we don't have that many meetings, okay? People out there, we do not have that many
All we do
meetings.
is meetings.
I'll
we
rephrase
had like
it.
one a day. Fuck, that even sounds worse. That sounds worse.
We went from 0 meetings to
one.
2 a week,
One
maybe
on
2
2
a
a
week.
week.
Let's say that. Okay.
All right.
Which is significantly more than none.
Wanted to get that on the record.
Yeah. So that's kind of helped us, and we're blocking out time to actually sit down and do some hard thinking because, before it's just like, let's see what sticks and just do that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think now we're actually, thinking hard about.
I actually have a question for you, Claudio.
Yeah.
What did you expect from me with the goal tracking? Because I have a feeling that everyone would be like, well, Lewis might try. I feel like I'm the person who would be like, was very likely to be the most opposed to it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I hate the, I hate being organized. I like being chaotic. I'm pretty terrible with, the adult stuff, right? Like pretty ADHD, just like, I enjoy vibes. Honestly, I've enjoyed building a company with, basically based on our gut and vibing it, kind of. So I went into that meeting with like almost like a hesitant like outlook to it. I was like, plan stuff. I don't like planning that much. I like to think ahead, maybe like a week, 2 months, 3 months most. I came out of that, by the way, just for everyone listening. Like the craziest thing happened to me. I was like, oh shit! Like I saw the light, and then 10 minutes of being in that room, I was like, okay, I can actually see now how we can go from where we are to $50 million in ARR to $500 million in ARR.
Mm-hmm.
It's never been clearer. But I think some people may take it too far.
Mm-hmm.
You might go to the extreme and like overplan. But
it's really hard to.
I think
right.
what we've done, like, or at least what I tried to do yesterday, and all of today is basically middle ground it, try and get to a point where I can see, all right, for at least 2026, what is the goal towards the end of it?
Yeah.
But I guess you guys were probably like, is he gonna do it? Is he like? What did you think?
Well, I think your reaction is probably appropriate because we've been conditioned to move really fast and sort of like break things, and that's kind of the default, right? So I think part of what feels unnatural to, frankly, all of us, and even for me, it's like it's not enjoyable to sit down and like think really hard.
I feel like you like it.
I probably like it more than you do, but that doesn't mean that it's like it's my preference. Like I just want to sit down and open cursor and hack all day. To be honest with you, like that's what I enjoy.
You're trying to get away from that mindset
because it's really hard work. It takes a lot of effort.
Yeah,
so I think
it's annoying to think hard,
and it's unnatural. And we've been used to almost like writing that off as like if you just raise your pre-seed and you sit down there and you're doing strategy for like 5 to 10 days, like
that's dumb.
That's the dumbest thing you could do, right? You're just wasting your time. You should be going out to the market, talking to people, shipping stuff, throwing spaghetti at the wall, see what sticks.
Mm-hmm.
And I think for the first time, that's not the right way to operate. So it's almost like we have to break old habits, create new habits.
Yeah.
So I think you're still transitioning, right, in terms of like the new set of habits. So am I.
I didn't put it that way. I'm like self-fighting. I'm like half opposed to it, and then half of me is like, you know what, it's kind of genius.
Yeah. In a way, it's kind of like adulting, but like in startups, like you're like,
but you know what?
Now you actually enjoy it. You're like, oh, it makes sense, and now I see.
I know, but it was the
valuable.
same thing that happened when we had to like let go of certain things that we used to do ourselves. Like when you were doing sales initially, Lewis.
Yeah.
And then at some point you have to be like, you know what, I'm not the guy to do sales anymore because your time is better spent managing a sales team and recruiting and doing other strategic work. And you have to kind of let go of that responsibility, and that was hard.
It's the only way that we would have gone from doing 250K, every month in sales to what we're doing now.
Yeah.
Right. And I think at the time I was like, oh shit, like what else am I going to do if I'm not doing the sales? And I have no idea, like,
how to feel productive.
Yeah. Like I just feel like I'm just sat there at my desk staring at, spreadsheets, reports, trying to figure out ways of being like productive, but in a way kind of seems like counterproductive, right? Like I'm trying specifically to find work for people at a time, but I feel like it's been like 3 months? It's not even been that long since I really stopped doing sales. So when I put it that way, it sounds like stupid.
It does feel longer though.
It feels a lot longer than that.
I think.
I don't know, but it feels like an eternity.
3
It feels
months,
like a
yeah.
long time. We needed to do it.
Yeah.
So now I can kind of like get on board with the whole, let's think about what we're going to do in 2026 because as we go along, I find that, okay, sometimes I'm right about these things, sometimes I'm wrong. And then with the whole sales thing, I think that opened me up to being more like, okay, let's just be a bit more strategic. Let's try and grow up a little bit. But at the same time, we do want to have fun. You have to build a cracked company.
Yeah, I don't think we've lost that edge, but I definitely think it's very uncomfortable to, you get used to doing things one way. And because we're succeeding, that means there's a new level, and you need to learn how to play that level.
We have to figure out how to become friends with billionaires and actually become them.
I mean, that's probably a good segue to some of the other stuff that's been going on. I know we talk about strategy and all that, but I think one of the biggest sort of like shocks to the system at the company over the last like 2 weeks is the success of one of our accounts and how that's really kind of taken everything by storm. And I don't know if you guys want to talk about kind of like what account we're referring to.
I would love to. I would like Mariano to explain to the audience who Henrik Johansson is.
Yeah, sure. So we have this new like satirical VC from European account, but it's fake, right? And basically,
Wait, what?
Yeah,
It's fake?
well, it's real now.
Oh shit! It's real now.
We brought it to life.
R.I.P.
I can explain why that reaction was warranted. But so we kind of started it off. We're like, oh yeah, it'd be funny to do it. So we set up this fake account, some random like ChatGPT generated image of like an old dude with white hair.
Yeah.
From like Finland or something. And he's kind of just talking about compliance. And I guess the whole point is that people make fun of is that compliance in Europe is very like complicated and it's too much and all the fines. And so we're kind of making fun of that, poking fun at that.
Overregulation.
Overregulation
in Europe.
And people found it really funny. And
Some people found it funny. There's a lot of haters too.
I feel like you're always going to get haters.
No, but I think about 20 or 30% of people actually don't know that it's a joke.
Yeah.
And they think he's a real person, A, and then B, that he means those opinions.
But I think that's part of the genius that people can't tell that whether it's serious or not. So the people who know that it's not serious, they find it hilarious because they see people getting rage baited almost, right?
It's my favorite part of that account. The rage bait is so good. I mean, it's why it works. I'm just trying to find one of the when you're talking about some people that don't know that it's a joke. There was a pretty big guy on socials who replied to one of the tweets yesterday or the day before. I think he had like 2 million followers. You know, he's like a very well known. Actually, I'm not sure if he's well known. Former state deputy of cybersecurity. I don't even know what that means.
Mm-hmm.
But this guy has 1.1 million followers, based out of Florida. Executive director of something. This guy literally replied to Henrik's tweet, and he's like, he ratioed him. He ratioed Henrik so hard. He got 18,000 likes, which kind of implies to me that 18,000 people also agreed with this guy.
Yeah.
Versus the 600 likes of the original post. Where he's like, you literally created these laws to fine American companies. You draw more income from those fines than you do in income taxes from EU companies together. These are not real laws. They are naked instruments of financial theft. Yeah. So some people clearly don't think it's a joke.
Yeah, but it goes to show how like people don't like that, and we're hitting a nerve in a way. And but that's what also makes it really funny.
So again, I think for context on the account, so this account has hit a nerve. We launched it, I think, about 90 days ago. Right now, it's roughly around 36K followers on X, roughly. It's followed by some of the biggest names in tech. You know, Mark Andreessen, Palmer Luckey. I think there's a handful more. A lot of GPs and Andreessen Horowitz. Vitalik Buterin, founder of Ethereum. I mean, Levels.io. There's a ton of big accounts.
I don't even know. It's like, how many views have we gotten?
Yeah, we've gotten reached out from media. Lewis and I have gotten personal follows from a handful of billionaires who also followed that account and found the strategy really clever. So it's been really kind of blowing up and has become actually a really big source for us on the go-to-market side. We've been actually drawing a lot of leads and attention to a very boring topic, which is compliance, through humor and satire, which has been honestly a home run for us.
Yeah, and recently we decided to kind of double down on the Henrik account and decided to bring it to life. So we actually have a whole kind of campaign to have, first of all, Henrik is now a real person, right? And so we found this like actor, super good, super professional, and he's gonna create a masterclass of compliance. So he's basically gonna do the same thing he's doing, but in a masterclass form, and I mean, I can't wait for it to be released, but I know it's gonna be like everyone's gonna love it. People are waiting for it.
So what originally started as this like AI generated image of this,
Yeah.
white guy from Finland.
Yeah.
We actually, our media team started like casting actors, and we found a guy that looked kind of similarly and could nail both the accent and the attitude. And now we produced, an entire masterclass that's coming out pretty soon. We're pretty excited about it. It's hilarious. I think it's some of the best. Best
Yeah, if
content
someone
I've
wants
seen
to
in a
watch the teaser, it's out on X. You can just go to CompAI account and watch it. I recommend you do.
Or is it the compliant VC account?
Compliant VC.
Yeah,
VC.
at compliant VC on X.
Yeah.
Correct account. I'm a big fan of the actor that we hired as well.
Yes.
The teaser was just a small amount of what we're about to launch on that account.
Yep.
But I mean, he's very like likable. I think he's got a certain personality. He nailed the whole character. He's got it down to a T, and I feel like he's a cool guy. Like I want to hang out with the actor of Henrik Johansson. He seems like
we should bring him on the pod at some point, and
we should get him on.
We should get him on and have him actually describe, his process getting in character and what he thinks about it.
Yeah, that would be
very experienced guy.
He had some ideas, and I kind of wish you read the email now.
Okay.
Because he had an idea for what actually he could do, and he was like, he could make his own podcast and actually get guests on. I think that could work.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, that'd be very interesting.
I think one of the biggest questions for us is like, how do we double down? So clearly, we figured something out. We've doubled down a little bit, right? And that's the masterclass has actually boosted the profile quite a bit.
Yeah.
And now the question is, how do you 10x that? How do you 100x the efforts and turn it into something bigger than life?
Yeah, he could do it, and you could get a lot of good personalities who would be very down to speak and argue with Henrik Johansson.
Yeah. We've also had thoughts of like taking the actor and having him be in character and take him to San Francisco.
Yeah.
And going around like different startups and him, doing like little skits of, I don't know, making fun
I think those
of,
will perform well. Yeah, there's a plethora of ideas.
Not compliant or.
I wonder if we kind of like ruin the account as we talk more about like the reality of it. Like, because a lot of people who follow it know that he's obviously a satire account. But the more we talk about it, the more we give away. Do we kill the idea of Henrik? Does it almost become like it's not interesting anymore because now we've given away the illusion of the possibility that he's not real?
I'm trying to, for example, think of like an analog with if you have like a director of a show kind of explaining how the show was created and then the actual show.
Yeah.
What's the takeaway from it? Like,
I don't think so.
Usually not.
Yeah.
Because they're kind of like different audiences that watch the different medias.
Yeah.
And I guess if you're listening to us, then you probably already subscribe to the idea of like, hey, these guys are cool.
Yeah.
They're creating an interesting
I would probably say that they would say like, oh yeah, that's really smart and it's funny, and they still find it funny and follow the account.
I can't believe they made a fake account. Fuck those guys. My favorite account is not real. God damn it.
Yeah.
I mean, I love that account. It's the funniest thing on tech, like social media in a long time.
I think for me at least, like one of the reasons that has been, I think one of the reasons it worked has to do with our personalities. And the fact that like a lot of the way that we operate the company is because we're having fun in a way. And I don't think enough people talk about that. But also the way that we've created the culture, the way we created our go-to-market strategy, I think we do things that we find interesting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
As opposed to just like the cookie cutter, the way that every single company grows.
In Miami, one time. Oh shit!
Yes.
I'm getting the side eye from both of these guys. They're like, sir, cut. No. Hear me out.
Live. Yeah.
I'd double down on it. I'd get 2 now.
Yeah.
Fuck it. It's been a great year. Why not?
Yeah, I mean, they're not that expensive.
No, but I do think, I mean, the
like
more we're having fun, the more that we're creating marketing that we would like to consume ourselves.
I would argue that a lot of people would say, in fact, we should get an actual Lambo and put Henrik's face on it. And I think that'd be worth it.
Yeah.
Or him driving in the Lambo in the streets of like Italy or something.
We drive the Lambo. Okay, his face is just on the side of it. All right, maybe not. See, not all of my ideas get to come to fruition.
There's a lot of ideas.
All ideas.
We pick the best.
There's no bad ideas.
There's no bad ideas.
Wink.
Well, hear me out. Lambo, a yacht, Miami.
I think
Henrik Johansson.
Yeah.
Could be a fun day.
Yeah. I think...
Bang a video.
I mean, 2026 GTM plan still in progress. I think we just got to get our heads together and figure out how do we dominate. But I think one of the philosophies that we're trying to approach is like absolute media domination. And hard to execute, but I think if we get that right, we can definitely... Because I guess one of the problems we're trying to solve is there's already incumbents in the space, right? And I think the way to win as a company is we can't just copy their playbooks. We
Yeah.
have to create new playbooks that are more efficient so we can grow faster than them to both catch up, number one, and number two, sort of like surpass like their levels of growth.
I think the way that we're doing it is actually going to be more explosive than theirs. Like theirs is already kind of like, it's very linear. But with the way that we're approaching kind of like organic and
So
social
how are we
media,
approaching it that's different? I guess if we can kind of unpack some of that.
I think we're just trying to generate as much content as possible, but quality, right? So, I mean, one of these things is like the podcast that we're doing, like it's part of the strategy.
Sorry, I just wanted to say that I actually think the main difference is, yeah, we want to put a good amount of media out there, but I think we also have to make it interesting. And one of the big things is compliance and cybersecurity. Overall, it's the most fucking boring, like place to be in, right? Every single company. Could you imagine CrowdStrike doing something interesting? Nah.
No.
It's the most boring industry. I guess the marketing people there are like, 45-year-old like guys, women. There's no interest in people working in these places, and I think we can be interesting enough to cause enough people to have eyes on us. And I think it can be a good thing, it can be a bad thing, but I think the good probably outweighs the bad if you can make enough noise in this space, because there's so much money involved, right? It's a huge market. So if you can just be okay, maybe slightly controversial, maybe a bit modern with your marketing, with the kind of media you produce. Even producing some media is doing 99% more than the rest of them, right? So I think if you can be a bit like edgy with it, get some like traction with like the compliant VC account. A lot of people, if you sent that account and said, hey, should we replicate this, and you're working for a different company, let's say, I don't know, CrowdStrike or Microsoft, their marketing team's going to say, hell no. Have you seen the reaction to that account sometimes? We don't want any risk. Right? And if they did try something like that, based on the replies like yesterday to that tweet, they'd be like, okay, close the account. Let's never do that again. Bad idea. But I think we can almost ride the wave of it. Like I personally don't care if some people are offended by the whole. I mean, I'm actually European, so I get a free pass to mocking overregulation of Europe. But also, I think people won't buy it if you're going to scare people away just based on that marketing. They were never going to be buyers in the first place. Like the relationship that we have with our customers is very close. People like us for who we are, and I think we take a huge portion of this space just by being interesting and different to everyone else. So sometimes we got to be a bit edgier, funnier.
I mean, so I guess what's everyone else doing that I think we find boring?
Nothing. I mean, like no one else is
like
doing
what's the default? Because I think one of the reasons it's working so well is because we're completely almost like counter positioned to the way that other companies in the space are approaching their go to market.
Yeah, I mean they all do the same thing, right? Like they do paid ads, newsletters, podcasts. Well, no, they sponsor podcasts. Maybe they'll sponsor one of our podcasts. We'll say no. We'll sponsor our own podcast. It's genius if you think about it.
Yeah.
What else? That's pretty much it. They all follow the same playbook.
Just traditional media.
Conferences, events, partnerships.
Yeah.
Webinars. We can do stuff like that.
Learns.
Dude, I swear to God, the first time anyone suggests we do a webinar, I will crash out so bad. I will
That person is fired on
They
the
will be
spot.
fired. I swear to God.
Yeah.
Right? It's not a joke. I mean, could you imagine?
No.
What are we going to do a webinar for? Jesus.
Yeah.
Actually, maybe it'd be a good idea. Maybe not. I don't know.
At some point, I don't know, but like, yeah, I do
Not
think
right now.
Yeah, one of the reasons our stuff has cut through the noise is because it's unexpected. It's not how you normally see a company like this like market themselves.
Yeah.
Like, we could do a webinar, or we could sponsor the best nightclub in New York City for one night.
Your choice.
And, pick one.
Yeah.
We can put a Henrik Johansson menu.
Meet and greet Henrik.
At some like fancy bar in I don't know, Midtown. Maybe we should do that.
I think one of the accounts that we really like is like Ramp.
Yes.
Like I think they're doing very interesting marketing and
Especially for
very
this
similar,
space.
very similar to how we kind of think. So we kind of vibe with that a lot, and we're kind of taking what they do well and trying to replicate it a little bit.
You know that this is something that blew my mind the other day. The compliant VC account on X is 90 days old in total. We have more followers than the Ramp brand account on that account, and that they've been around for many, many years. So it's not a diss to Ramp. What they do is great, but that tells me that we are onto something astronomically. Like, we're on the right path.
Yeah.
Right. Like there's no doubt in my mind that this is the way forward with our like GTM strategy as a whole, media, be more interesting. But I can see a world where more and more companies try and do it. And I think there's some that have tried which didn't get PMF. Clearly, for example, they were very rage baity. They were very crazy with some of the media that they came out with.
Yeah.
We can't go that far, but I mean, they took it to new extremes, but they didn't have PMF. They've struggled to actually attain the market that they were in. They pivoted now, I think, to be more of like a note taker.
Yeah.
Like very recently, Roy was getting cooked on all of these different. He was on like TechCrunch for. They basically tried to get him to say his company's ARR. He wouldn't. He refused to give out any numbers, which basically, he had no reason to. But I think they're getting cooked right now.
Yeah.
Right?
They've been quiet. It's been
They've been
radio
very
silence
quiet.
for a couple months.
If you can go to that extreme, but if you don't have PMF, it means fucking nothing anyway.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
congratulations, you've got eyes on you and your product, but no one's buying it because no one needs it. Versus something like this, where we're not as extreme. Take some of the lessons that they did. I do truly believe that the more we do with media, it can't hurt.
Yeah.
Right. Even if it's a bit rage baity sometimes, compliant VC, it's not completely related to comp AI. It's somewhat related, I guess, but I still think that is better than doing it if you don't have PMF whatsoever.
Yeah.
Right. So we have proven you can make these like satirical accounts, be interesting, and as long as you have a good product, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Right? Everyone should just do it. Everyone should do this kind of marketing if
Yeah.
they're not.
Yeah, for me, I think it comes down to the efficiency of that spend.
Yeah.
The amount of money that we spent kind of running that account and producing some media around it, it's only a fraction of how much we spent on, let's say, like paid acquisition. So that just tells me like, hey, well, first of all, it's not easy to replicate. But if you do have an avenue to produce media of that quality with that level of engagement, it's just a way more efficient spend of your money. And when we look at, hey, we want to compete with the likes of, Vanta, Drata, and other players in the space, we can't just compete with the same channels that they use because they have way more money. They have deeper pockets to actually completely run us out of business.
And some of our newer competitors are doing that, right?
Yeah.
So that there's a new companies that are also doing what Comp AI does, and they are just following the same old traditional.
Yeah, so you're always going to be behind, a couple steps behind. You're never going to actually catch up if your adversary.
Congratulations, you built the same thing and you're marketing the same thing. You're selling the same thing.
You're just always going to be a couple years
no
behind.
Difference.
100%.
Yeah. There's no.
If you want to win, you got to be more efficient. You got to figure out a shortcut.
Yeah.
And I think for us, it's just been kind of like the creative go-to-market, the creative media strategies.
I think today we hit 400 customers. So it's a big milestone. And it's still interesting to me that we have a very small customer success team.
Yeah.
And again, goes back into some of the stuff that we built, the efficiencies of it. Kind of like we have a very efficient marketing and go-to-market like motion in the works. But we also have a very very efficient and very strategic way of actually making sure these customers get to success, right? So I think every like staple of what we do is essentially always comes back to how efficient can you be, like the engineering side of it.
Yeah.
We're the most efficient engineering team that I've ever worked with. Sales and marketing, the amount of customers that we have for the
100%.
amount of money that we've spent is crazy.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think people really understand when I say this to them, but the incumbents in this space spend a huge amount of money to get their first 500 customers. And I'm talking 10, 20, 30, 40 million dollars, right? Done nothing near that. So just to get where we are with what we've done is with what money we've had, it's been crazy. I think I guess like the whole AI space as a whole has enabled us to do that, right? We've been able to be efficient with engineering, with marketing, with media.
But I'll say something, which is I think some of the newer players in the space also started, kind of like riding the AI wave.
Yeah.
Yet still we have attained, a higher degree of efficiency. So I'm actually really curious more about like if we take a step out, like us as founders, right? Like as we entered comp, like I guess there were things that made us better equipped to like approach this problem. So I guess I'm just curious about kind of like the origin of like what did we do right, number one, and number two is like where did that come from? Like is this something we picked up at like previous experiences? Like what were the ingredients that then led to us as we approach this opportunity to actually be able to just hit a home run and continue to be more efficient?
I think we've always been pretty scrappy, right? So I think we all have that like scrappiness about us, and it gives us like a huge advantage over like someone who went to MIT or Stanford and has never really had to figure it out on their own. I think we've all had to do that. We're also older than a lot of the people who are starting, these like cool little companies, like the AI companies. There's so many people. I actually feel old for the first time ever recently. You see these kids on X who like 18 or 19 and like, I've just raised $42 million of a pre-seed, and you're like, God damn, right? But I think the experience that we have and just the way we've had to do things in our lives, we've been scrappy.
Can you think back to any specific job or any situation or any project or anything that you thought, hey, the work that I did there, actually, I'm still using a lot of those principles and a lot of those, or maybe a lot of the battle scars that I got from like this era actually made me a great founder today?
Good question.
Yeah.
I'll take that question. So I think that the biggest one in my head is Leap AI, right? You and I were working on that. Lois was also there for a little bit. Starting on early, I mean, it was just very rough. I remember we had a good AI product. You were generating images for people, and that was like right when the AI kind of boom started, right? I remember you had the phrase, the AI API for everything or something like that.
That sounds hard to market.
We pivoted into workflows, right? We're like, workflows is the next big thing. And that was really hard. It was a really slow push. I think that experience of trying really hard for like 2 years, but also writing the initial AI wave from the beginning. So when the models were still crap, right? And we were trying to make it work with the bad models. And then, newer models come out, the agents came out. So all that learning curve I think it was pivotal to like what we're bringing to Comp AI and like what we're doing right from the beginning. Now it's like, okay, well, first of all, the models are way better. So we can actually build more efficiently, but we kind of learned a lot of from our mistakes from like Leap AI, for example. And that was like specifically an AI startup, right? Where I don't think any other kind of like the competitors have that experience because AI didn't really exist before or in the way that we know it, right?
I used to joke with, I was talking to an investor in SF a couple months back. And one of the things I used to joke about is like, hey, we are probably one of the very few people, we're probably amongst like a team of like, I don't know, 10, 20, 30 people who know how to build, AI workflows with this level of almost like expertise. I don't think that level of knowledge really exists in the workplace, broadly speaking, because it's something brand new. Yet we are one of the very few teams who actually spent 2 years, struggling to actually build systems. So we understand the rough edges, we understand where it fails. So bringing that into sort of comp, I think it was very easy to sort of like conceptualize, we know exactly what's going to fail. Let's do it right from the get-go.
I think also, at least on my end, I've worked at other startups, other companies, some smaller, some bigger, where I've seen the processes internally, like how they work, pre-AI, right? But I've learned a lot about what not to do, like what they did wrong. For example, like engineering processes, like they would only deploy once every 2 weeks or something. Like it was very slow, right? So I've learned a lot from other jobs as well, where again, some of these newer kids, right, starting their own startups, they haven't really had any jobs before or been in a company and see how it runs, whether they're successful or small or big.
I've always just been great, so just a smart guy.
Just winning back to back.
W's,
no failures.
W's, all right.
No struggles.
No struggles.
Honestly, life has been easy.
Vibes. I think a lot of our approaches, like obviously we have a specific like leadership style, the way we like run teams, like the kind of philosophy, the way we prioritize things. I know, for example, for me, I picked up a lot of my kind of intuition around culture from my time at WeWork. Say what you want about their business model and sort of mishaps on signing 10-year leases and all that crap. But nonetheless, I think the culture and sort of almost like this like cultish way of like bringing people in and making them believe in the mission and creating a space that people really wanted to be part of. And to the point like people were really kind of pouring their hearts and souls into this company, even though they weren't getting paid that much. It was really just all about, equity and kind of growing this as big as it can be. So I think at least I picked up a lot of my chops from like, my time working at WeWork. And obviously that translates into what we do today, which if you're a new grad, you're not going to have that experience. Can you think back to like any, at least I got that from culture, but like, is there anything around like sales, leadership, I don't know, marketing, something else that you feel like?
You're going to hate this answer. And I think listeners may also hate it. But I know how to run Comp AI right now and to get it to being a $1 billion company because I love the TV show Silicon Valley. We Crashed.
Yeah.
The Spotify one. I've seen all of the startup documentaries, all of the TV shows.
Succession
Right?
is the
I was
next
built
level,
for this.
Yeah.
We're aiming for
all of my
Succession.
experience is now coming from that. Everything else before this is not even on the same level.
No, but genuinely,
Genuinely, right?
like,
I think
what are some habits that you feel you picked up from these
everything,
shows?
every habit, every job that I've had has been completely different level.
Yeah.
So it's not even relevant to the conversation. Everything that I've done in the last year,
I don't think it has to be good. I
just
think
thrown it away.
I think you can have negative examples where you can be like, I'm gonna be the opposite of that guy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of people that I've worked with who have been like that. I mean, I remember the first ever job that I had. I remember walking in on the first day, and I was doing it was like a help desk job, like picking up the phone, answering people's questions about the software for this company. I'm still kind of friends with this guy, so I don't want to say too much. But anyway, he basically had been working there for like 10 years already, and he still works there now, and it's 10 years later, and he will work there until he retires or dies. That's it, and he will never move from that specific role. I think that moment when I realized that you can just get a job and stay in it for life, never even experiencing a different career, job, whatever, even a position in that company, he stayed at the very same level. That gave me a huge amount of motivation to basically never do that. Always be thinking of what I could be doing next, growing to the next level, whatever, up until the point of either running a team or running a company. I think that's kind of how I don't know. It gave me some motivation back then. I was like, holy fuck, I never ever want to be that.
Yeah, funny you say that because I think we've all had the same experience of working at companies that you see people that they've been there for 10, 15 years. And you're like, how the hell?
It's scary.
I cannot see myself doing that.
Yeah. I don't wish that upon
so
my
maybe that's
worst
like
enemy.
that's like the founder gene of no.
Yeah.
First of all, you want to keep leveling up, right? And you know that at those companies that people work for 10, 15 years, you're not really going to level up as much as you would want to, as quick as you want. So yeah, it's all about making, you were already making hops between companies and you're trying to work your way up. So I guess that kind of led into the itch for what's the next level is to start your own, basically.
Yeah. Basically not wanting to do that and watching all of the great startup documentaries out there.
Yeah.
We Crashed. I also worked at WeWork, if you think about it. I've seen the documentary. I've seen the TV show twice.
Yeah.
Big fan. Yeah, I mean, it sets the tone, though. Unironically, I love We Crashed is one of my favorite documentaries or TV shows around startups. It's my favorite pastime to watch these things about how companies grow or succeed, sometimes fail, like WeWork and all of these other ones. But damn, the energy from it. I almost while I was watching We Crashed, I felt like I was a part of WeWork in a lot of ways. It drags you in. The whole series is. It almost just makes every time I watch it, I just want to go out and I just want to build something. I'm like, fuck yeah, I want to just go and start a company and do this and this. If I'm feeling down about building a company, I'm like, damn, burning out. I'll go and watch We Crashed or any of those TV shows, and it gets me back in the mood. I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah, it's 2 a.m. I want to go back to work right now. You know?
I think one of the big values from WeWork was it's not just a workplace. It's it's a life, right? It's you kind of come in here because you enjoy so much kind of being around these people and around this environment. And I think, unironically, that's one of the things that we've done really well at the company, which is even from day one, it was just the three of us locked in a tiny room. Yeah, we were just having fun.
I mean, the first thing we did,
we had FIFA in the room.
No one knows about this.
Yes.
Yeah, the Guitar Hero.
Yeah, we got a Guitar Hero in the little office that we had, and we were we worked for 6 hours or something. Take a quick 30-minute break.
Quick
play some
30
Guitar
minutes.
Hero.
Sometimes it went more than 30 minutes. Sometimes we play FIFA for 2 hours.
Sometimes you guys would be playing and I would be coding, and I'm like, I hate you guys.
But we needed you to.
Someone needed to be coding, right?
If you think about it, we probably helped motivate you to get it done, so you could also play FIFA.
I just wanted to go home. I'm trying to get home. No one else is coding. I got to do this.
Yeah.
Fuck. Exposed.
Well, that was the early days. It's fine.
I mean, look, we had a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was fun. It was cool. It was like a camaraderie.
How do we keep that as we get bigger?
Yeah.
It's one of the things that I'm like, I kind of miss the mind space, that small room with the FIFA, with the Guitar Hero, but also we'd stay there until 11 p.m. We'd get there at 8 a.m. 9 a.m. for
But you
me.
didn't feel it. It was
You
just,
didn't
it was
feel
just what
it. Yeah,
we
it
do.
was like it was
Yeah.
just fun. And it was like one of the TV shows, like the very early days
Yeah, yeah.
of Silicon Valley season 1 or whatever. They were in a room hacking away, and really, I saw someone comment on this on one of your posts about remote working, and I think it's so true. By the way, people say it's something basically people who want to build a company and say no remote working, they just want to hang out with the boys.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. You just want to hang out with the boys and have fun.
No,
Big fan of that.
I think one of my goals right now is to actually figure out a way to extend that
Yeah,
to all our employees.
Yeah.
Like I want everyone to show up to work and feel the exact same way that we felt those early days, which is like I fucking love this place.
It's gonna be hard.
It's gonna be hard.
It's hard. It's probably one of the hardest things.
We'll try.
about
I mean,
building a
I
company.
don't know that we'll succeed. We'll definitely try our best. But
I mean,
think
we already have like a couch and a PS5 and TV.
Yeah, but no one uses it.
Yeah, I
uses
I don't
it.
feel comfortable.
I think
We're a little
everyone's too locked
nervous.
in to play it,
Yeah.
but
I mean,
But back in the day,
we're
back
also
in the
too
day,
looked
though.
in.
yeah.
But back in the day, we would have just stayed later to make up for it.
Yeah.
So we need to go back to let people play FIFA in the middle of the day. I don't care as
Yeah.
long as sales calls are happening, people are making money, we're shipping all of our features.
So one of the things I was talking to a friend about is he was sort of asking me like, hey, most of the time when starting a company, some of the common advice is like, do not work with friends, don't work with family. Yeah, I think we've broken both rules here at Comp, and it's actually worked out pretty great.
Yeah.
So I'm sort of curious around like what you guys think had made that work. Like, what would you tell someone if they're telling you, hey, I'm planning on working with my friend, but I have some like reservations around if I should do it or not?
I think generic advice, I mean, I've read it so many times as well. Everyone says don't do it. Skill issue maybe? I don't know. I think we're like pretty brutally honest with each other. I think that's what makes it kind of work.
Yeah.
Like if you're pissing me off, I'll say it. If I'm pissing you off, you'll say it. Same with you. Like, we're all pretty good at like being just very honest.
We
I
respect
think.
each other to the point where like even if we are pissing each other off, like we allow ourselves to have some space or figure it out.
Yeah.
And we
I
talk
think-
about it, right?
Yeah, I think you just have to be pretty open, and I'm guessing most people would steer away from like the uncomfortable conversations that you have to have at times. You have to set the boundaries. You have to make it clear like what you're doing. Still, I mean, look, 90% of the time, and I still think this is it could happen at any point, right? That this could be ruined just by us falling out, right? Like if we had like let's say we had a big disagreement and I don't know, you wanted to do something with the culture and I was like, I don't like that, and we just can't be resolved, then it's risky, right? Like the friendship would be ruined if, let's say, I don't know, I'm trying to think of like a scenario where something could happen,
That's
right?
right.
Where you're like, okay.
I feel like we always
I
come
hate
back
this
around.
guy.
Like
You
I
come,
don't,
you come
Yeah,
back.
yeah.
you
I
come
think
back
we're
to it.
reasonable people. And
I think
whenever there is something
I don't think we take things personal. I think that's actually a big part of it.
Yeah.
It's like we can have a bickering disagreement, but like I hate your guts, you hate my guts.
Yeah.
And then like, an
Take a
hour
day.
later we shake it off, brush it off, and then we're back exactly where we were.
Quick game of FIFA.
Yeah. We're like, you know what, you were really annoying yesterday, but I'll forgive you today.
I would say to most people don't do it because I mean a lot of people.
I
can't-
kind
don't
of
think they
I
can
kind of agree
handle.
with you. I think most people wouldn't be
Yeah.
able to
I think we're definitely like a
make something positive out
rare
of it.
case.
Yeah.
And I don't even know how like it just worked out, but maybe we got lucky. I don't know. But
Well, we had worked together before, so I think we had some idea of what
Yeah.
to expect. It wasn't
Yeah.
completely out of the blue.
we've actually known Lewis for like less than a year now, or
No, more than a year now.
More
Year and a
than a
half,
year.
maybe almost 2 years.
It sounds crazy to me. That
It
it's
sounds
only
like a
that.
decade because
It's
the
not
amount of
that much.
experiences we've had together. We've traveled,
yeah.
I don't know,
We went to Miami.
we've
couple
been to like 10 or
times.
15 places together.
Yeah, I remember when Lewis joined Leap, like the first thing he did was come to Miami with us.
yeah.
That was fun.
That was
We went
great.
to watch Messi,
And we went to the F1.
and he scored a crazy goal
We should
or
do it.
multiple goals.
Who, Lewis?
No, Messi.
We should do it again.
We should do it again.
We should
mean-
do it again.
Yeah.
Yes, I would not be opposed.
Yeah. But
Miami
honestly, at the same time,
FC.
it's like I think what's made the company work. Like if we weren't sort of just having fun again, that early days, stuck in that little shoebox of an office, just the boys having fun.
Yeah.
I don't think we would be where we are right now.
No, I don't think it would be. I guess like we all don't want it to end as well because we
Yeah.
have the fun times.
Yeah.
So you like take a step back and think like, okay,
Do I want
if
to
I
ruin
really
this?
drive this, if I really want to ruin it, then I can ruin it. But then
Yeah.
you lose all the fun stuff as well.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to not chill and go to Miami every now and then, just to relax.
Yeah.
Or casino every now and then. We'll do it. It's fun, right? We've had a lot of good times together. So I think even if you say, okay, this guy's been an asshole this week, then whatever. Yeah, you'll be okay next week.
Yeah.
Everyone will relax. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go to Cancun, relax, Puerto Rico.
But you know what?
Like
I think that's the problem with most companies. Like they actually don't optimize for fun, and I think fun is what creates cohesion. And when you have cohesion,
But I think
you can actually stick to the hardships.
We have a good balance of fun and work.
For sure.
Like
But
it's not like we're only having fun.
But I
and
think
not
most
working.
companies are either like sterile about it, or they just don't actually acknowledge the importance of that element, that ingredient.
I think a lot of people take themselves way too seriously, especially people who have who are trying to prove a point, like these Stanford kids that have raised some money and they are determined to be, the chances are you're not Mark Zuckerberg, right? Like they're trying to be that. I would hedge against it, for most people. It's not going to happen. It's not going to work out.
Yeah.
So why not have fun and be half of a Mark Zuckerberg? Right, like most people should try and go down that path.
Yeah.
Right, I think people get stuck in this rut of trying to be someone else or someone that they aren't.
Yeah,
and it forces them, or almost like structures them to be boring and sterile.
Yeah,
right, because those people are unopinionated, sterile, and boring. But guess what? They're gonna have a lot of fun because they've already made it. They became sterile and boring and fun at the end. Mark Zuckerberg when he started Facebook, it was the most unhinged fucking incel in the world, right? Now he's like, and that's because he's been he's now responsible for hundreds of thousands of people's he takes it very seriously, but back then he didn't. So
I think people, guy. I don't know if we would see him be able to give a talk.
Recently, yes, but like 2 years ago.
Maybe you wouldn't hear about it. I don't think he was public about it, but I think
I'm sure he was
it's a low-key chat, to be honest.
Yeah, but I'm not saying like him, his public persona 2 years ago was not this Chad guy. It was like, the sweaters, the fucking terrible outfit, standing on stage talking about whatever. Most people did not, people outside of tech didn't aspire to be Mark Zuckerberg, right? But then what I'm saying is he kind of had that persona late on. And it's kind of changed now, so now it's become cool. Maybe becoming cool is okay again.
Well, I think it has to do with also the culture. It's I think we moved out of SF. Yeah. I mean, partly, to be honest with you, for that reason. I don't feel like it fit my personality.
Yeah,
I feel like it was a little bit too sterile. Everyone there is an academic. They're very kind of uptight about what they do. And you come to New York, and it's a lot more alive, it's a lot more raw.
Yeah. Sex in the City, baby. It's a great fucking place to be.
I think it just has to do with where we grew up.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of the early founders that I've met, they go too hard on trying to be someone else, trying to imitate. It's almost like they're trying too hard. The people who get in on Forbes 30 under 30 are the people who, all of them are awful. I can't imagine it, right? I just cannot imagine being on that list. I'll never be there.
In fact, I don't have anything to prove by being on that.
In fact, if they asked me to be on it, I would say no.
Yeah.
Sounds terrible.
Yeah.
But if you look at that list of people, I just think, fucking, wow.
Yeah.
Boring.
Yeah.
I'd rather not.
Well, it's I just think kind of what's the point? It's almost self-congratulatory for no reason. It's you just want the accolade because it's almost like you're trying to fill a void, through some external attention. It's purely attention seeking.
It's validation of yourself through the public, I guess.
Yeah.
I think we're very sure of ourselves, so we don't really care.
I mean, look, we're having a good time.
Yeah.
We're enjoying kind of working with each other. Again, my point stands, which is I think if we are having fun and we feel connected, we're more likely to push through really hard things to do, which is building a company is not easy.
But I also do think we bring a lot of good energy to the company itself. I think it propagates down to everyone else who's working there. They're they feel the energy and they're like, oh yeah, this is cool and fun environment. Mm-hmm. Instead of just a sterile.
And I can actually say what I think without being canceled or whatever. I think we keep it very, very open.
Yeah, we keep it
unfiltered.
I mean, I think everyone that we've hired so far is pretty on board with it. Didn't expect it as much, but
some of them have grown into it. Others were already like that, but regardless, I think we've created a good baseline.
I mean, I love it. I mean, every single person that we have at Comp is cracked.
Yeah,
I keep on saying it. I think I've said it every episode, but every single person in the company. I actually genuinely like. They're cool people, right? I like the people that I work with. I'm excited to go to work. I'm excited to get into the office every morning. 10 a.m. this morning. So sorry about that, guys.
That's fine. That's
a bit late.
We covered the early shift for you.
I enjoy getting into the office. I enjoy spending time with the people that I'm working with. I think everyone is smart. There's a lot of There's a lot of characters that we have.
Yeah.
And I think everyone is like very unique in their own way and interesting. Like everyone's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like everyone has their own story, and
Yeah.
I think we should make like videos of each person, each employee, and
Yeah.
make stories around them. Like,
All right. So I have questions for both of you. I guess the same question. Two-part question. Number one is like, what is the thing you're looking forward to the most in the upcoming year? And what do you see it being the biggest challenge we'll have to face and solve in the upcoming year?
We're going to have to hire a fuck ton of people.
Yeah.
It's going to be the hardest bit, right?
Yeah,
I mean, I'm kind of excited about it. In my head, I see a room, like, in the Wolf of Wall Street, when you have, like, all of these sales guys, like, picking up the phone, like, absolute, like, chats, just, having a lot of fun. I see that in one world. In the other world, I see it's going to take a lot of time and effort to hire the best people.
Yeah, recruiting is...
And then also, like, it just everything changes, right? You go from 20 people to 100 people. Like, the culture will shift a bit. That's something that we're going to have to figure out. It's going to be very hard to keep as is. Fuck it. Will we be able to do this every day? I'm not sure. Not every day, but once a week. We're gonna have to figure it out.
Yep.
It's gonna be crazy. But I'm kind of excited for it at the same time.
So your answer is the same for both? Is the most exciting thing you're looking forward to?
Yeah, it's kind of the same. Scaling up.
Yep.
Vibe scaling.
Vibe scaling. How about you?
Yeah, I guess it's kind of very similar.
No, you can't copy the same
I
answer.
know, but I'm trying to think of my own version.
I went for the easy one.
Yeah.
I think what I'm most concerned about is just like scaling like my own team, I guess.
Okay.
It's going to get very complex and complicated to distribute work, I think.
Okay.
I'm not a PM, right? So it's very hard for me to...
It's your first time managing a team of this size, so it's like new stuff.
Exactly.
Hire a PM.
Yeah, exactly. Might have to hire a PM. I'm not looking forward to to recruiting again.
Easy enough.
Right?
Yeah.
Recruiting was...
You're going to become a full-time recruiter for the most part.
I know.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
He's copying my answer in a different way.
Well, we're doing the same thing with different teams.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to recruiting, I think, but...
What about scaling the product to handle 10 times more people?
I think that's not that bad.
But then I was thinking about this. Let's say we go
a lot of
to,
critical thinking, but...
Let's say we go to 4,000 customers. That means that there's going to be, let's say there's an average of like 20 to 50 people per company. The device agent is going to be crazy.
Could be more.
Yeah.
Be a lot more. We're like 100,000 devices managed by...
Yeah.
He's going to be on call, waking up in the middle of the night
Well,
multiple times a week.
Hopefully.
He is already.
Once I hire more people,
Listen,
they will be on call.
It's practice for becoming a parent.
Right.
Yeah.
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 My children of engineers. Except they won't actually be
We'll
children.
be waking you up in the middle of the night,
yeah.
yes.
I'm excited about the new office. I can't wait
The
for
new
that.
office is going to be
Does that mean
fantastic.
they call you daddy? Hey, he said it.
I didn't say anything. Yeah, I'm really excited to get the new office. I think it's going to be epic.
Yeah. What are you excited about the new office? Like, I know we kind of have plenty of spaces, but like, which part of the office is kind of like...
I think the spaces, I think the creative ideas that we have, like remember whenever someone walks in, we play like a song or something.
It's not going to last very long.
Maybe
practice.
not, but...
It sounds good.
Just for us three?
On paper, it sounds great. Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe just us three.
Katy Perry.
I think also seeing like just a lot of people in the office is going to be kind of crazy.
Yeah.
It's going to feel unreal. You're going to be like, oh crap, there's like 50 people over there in their own little section, like all the salespeople or something.
Yeah.
And you're like, wow.
Yeah.
You might not even know everyone.
It's mind-blowing
right?
how fast like it changed.
It's going to get to the point where you don't know someone's name. And you're like, wow, like
That's going to be an
who
interesting
are you?
moment.
I just met you. Like,
At what point did Adam Newman get the expensive alcohol in the office, like every day?
No idea.
I feel like it was very early.
Sweet.
I don't know if you could do it.
It's one of my favorite scenes. Honestly, personally, I'm really
what about
excited
you?
for the... okay, first excited, then like terrified, which I haven't thought about terrified one, but excited. Our media plan, I think for next year, been thinking a lot about it and definitely just like spinning up a lot of new initiatives. So I think we're obviously, there's the podcast.
Yeah.
Now we're in this new space. Obviously, we're going to keep upgrading the spaces, I think, as we go and just like leveling up the quality, having guests.
You just read that guy over there. He's now like, wow, fuck that guy. You're going to upgrade? To what?
Yeah, we were chatting about earlier.
There's nothing better than this.
He's going to help us out. We'll get some tips for the new
Amazing.
arrangement. But also like spinning up other like types of media. So like I think we want to do some stuff around like live streaming. Don't know what that is, but like TVPN of the East, or we'll figure out a format that kind of makes sense. That could be interesting.
that's a good one.
Are they not in?
No, they're in LA.
They're West Coast.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Or in SF, LA or SF, one of those.
Correct.
Either way, some live streaming stuff, some more hero content like what we did with Henrik, just like really scaling that to the max. And I know one of my ultimate goals is to have, almost like be one of the first startups to have our own documentary on Netflix. I think that'd be really cool. I don't know if that's a 2026 goal, but it'll happen eventually. But I think just overall media dominance is a really exciting challenge. In terms of terrifying stuff, I definitely, I'm gonna have to take the cheap, way out here. I'm definitely not looking forward to recruiting. I just feel like recruiting is
All of us.
it's just a lot of work, man.
Yeah.
I'm
Just a
gonna
lot of
try
work.
and
And
think
it's
of
not fun.
something that's not that.
The amount of bad candidates you have to go to find a good one is it's just
I also hate
annoying.
rejecting people. Like I'm by nature an optimist, so I like to see the best in people. And then you're like 80% there. I want to believe in you. You deserve a shot, but I'm not going to be the one to give it to you.
Right.
So it's kind of like a weird thing to do.
So sometimes you get people that are like
And look,
they're
skill
clearly
issue.
lying about
Yeah.
their experience or something.
That
and,
is true.
And then you're like, screw you.
Yeah.
Like you can tell, and you're like, you're wasting my time.
I mean, but I do think
You
we
know?
are getting better. I think where we were as recruiters, 8 months ago to where we are right now, like I think we listen to the red flags a lot more.
Yeah.
Even
That's true.
even a whiff of something, you're just like immediately like not worth the risk that it turns out to be something.
Yeah, we train our
real.
guts to
Yeah.
pinpoint.
But still, it's a lot of calls, and I'm not looking forward to almost like the process of having to recruit a fuck ton.
Like you said, I'd rather be in cursor.
I'd rather be in
something,
cursor.
you know?
The good news for me is I feel like I hired someone great who's now going to be able to hire all of those salespeople.
Yeah, but you need more,
I
we
have
need
to-
more like leaders of different teams,
Yeah.
right? So you still have to recruit those yourself.
Yeah.
But at least it's less. You don't have to recruit like kind of the ICs underneath.
Yeah, I mean, I would not want to hire, 45 salespeople in a year.
It's problem for
sounds
someone else.
awful.
Yeah.
Good luck to whoever's going to do
I
that.
think we need
Yeah.
to hire a hiring manager.
I'll tell you what
maybe.
else. I think it's all into being people problems, right? But
Yeah.
there's obviously recruiting, but then there's also like managing people, and then people like performance issues or people crises or just stuff like that. That I think you as founders have to step into all the time and kind of address and have the hard conversations. So more people means more hard conversations. So I think that's kind of in the horizon for us.
I was going to say like the culture as well. I mean, when we were 3 people, we could just be like, let's go for dinner and do that like the same day.
Yeah.
Now we have to like plan it a week in advance.
We can still go out for dinner.
have to get like yes or no's from everybody. No, but you want to take the team out.
Dietary,
You want everyone to have fun,
preferences.
and also like a lot of the culture that we had was like these like very quick decisions where we're like, let's go and do this, let's go and do this.
Yeah,
And
should we
I'd
go away
like
for the
to
weekend?
Yeah, I'd love to be able to do that with the team, and it's literally logistically impossible
Yeah,
to like figure it out, and you have to wait for everyone to like RSVP. It's like, are you coming or not? Yes or no? Let me know in the next 5 minutes.
Yeah.
we could do that. We used to be able to do that, but we got to figure out like a.
I mean, there's gonna be tiers now, right? Of like, for example, the dinners. Like, we're not gonna always take the entire company out every time.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like,
Why, asshole?
no, I'm saying tiers. Like
Tears of what? You're gonna put people.
maybe
to
us three
tears?
go more frequently, and then we invite the team and more parts of it. I don't know, whatever. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have like, are we going to turn into a
also gets
company that
very
just
expensive.
has? Are we going to turn into a company that just has like one annual Christmas dinner? It's like we have a meal.
I mean, have you seen
And-
how
and
expensive they
Christmas.
got?
And it's mid. Also,
Yeah.
like
Ah.
No.
we spend all
Yeah.
the money on steakhouses
It
ourselves.
can never
and
be
then-
mid.
Yeah.
All right, never
It
mid.
can't be mid.
It's going to be Applebee's next year.
Have you seen?
Right.
Speaking of like Christmas parties and all that, have you guys seen like I think like Figure had like a great party, like XAI. Have you seen like the footage on that on X?
No.
It's like literally like I think they hired like Dead Mouse. They had like robots on stage, like
Deadmau5?
neon lights everywhere. Deadmau5. I feel like that's a good standard.
Yeah.
I like to see that level of production
It's too cold here.
right now, but people still go out. I've been out
Yeah.
for New Year's in New York,
I feel like summer's going to be great. I'm looking forward to summer.
summer.
Yes.
See, that's the thing about New
Rooftops.
York. It's like because it has seasons, you actually look forward to the
Yeah.
progression of time. In San Francisco, it's like a constant lull
Yeah.
for 12 months.
constantly
same exact
fall.
weather. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always fall.
And you're like,
It's not quite winter, but
Yeah,
still
it's not
not
quite-
summer either. So it's a
exactly.
little bit sad.
yeah,
Damn.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
very depressing, in my opinion.
Hot take.
Hot take.
Hot
Yeah.
take.
I'm gonna get
It's
canceled for
It's
that
a
one.
real take. All right, everyone else is fake.
It's a fall.
It's a fake take.
I feel the same way about sushi. Everyone else is lying. It tastes like trash. It's not good.
That's fine. I don't care.
Should we go out for dinner?
Yes.
That
That sounds like a plan.
was easy. Easy enough.
See, you could just do things.
You could just do things.
Fucking A.
Yeah. All right. GG boys.
Is that the outro now? You're going to say bye?